Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to be talking about Richard Miller's iRest Yoga Nidra. We're going to look at the similarities and differences between Swami Satchidananda's Yoga Nidra, Nashila Joy Devi's Deep Relaxation, and Dr. Richard Miller's iRest Yoga Nidra. Dr. Richard Miller's iRest Yoga Nidra is a unique brand of Yoga Nidra that integrates several different types of somatic response therapies to create a whole body sensory experience Yoga Nidra practice. In iRest, the first step is to discover and develop a heartfelt mission or a heartfelt desire. This heartfelt desire might be for peace for yourself or your family. It might be for a sense of calm or a connection to universal consciousness. You might feel a desire to simply rest in being. Whatever your heartfelt desire is, that is how the practice of iRest Yoga Nidra is initiated. The second step is to develop an intention or a sankalpa. This is similar to the previous versions of Yoga Nidra. Each Yoga Nidra practice asks the practitioner to discover a sankalpa, an intention that helps to guide them through their practice. The third step in Dr. Miller's iRest Yoga Nidra is to develop an inner resource. This inner resource is a wellspring of well-being and provides a soft landing pad, a safe space for which the body and mind can be explored. Before the practice of Yoga Nidra can begin, Dr. Miller's iRest Yoga Nidra invites the practitioner to practice body sensing. Body sensing can take on many forms. It can be a visualization moving through the different centers in the body, or it can actually take on a variation of movement. Body sensing segues into breath sensing, when the practitioner can sense the breath as expansive and ever-present, permeating both the physical body and extending out in all directions. Then the practitioner is ready to move on to the next step. iRest Yoga Nidra takes the practitioner through a comparison of opposite emotions, specifically looking for any unconscious material that would like to become a messenger. In iRest Yoga Nidra, Dr. Richard Miller believes that all of our emotions, feelings, thoughts, and memories are simply projected messengers coming back to help to deepen our awareness into a greater state of consciousness. During the comparison of opposites, the teacher can facilitate a deeper inquiry with their student by focusing on thoughts, memories, sensations, and emotions that trigger or activate a specific feeling that is coming up and creating some sort of dis-ease in the practitioner's life. Inviting feelings, thoughts, emotions, and sensations to become messengers allows the practitioner to begin to have a dialogue with unconscious material rather than pushing away or judging messengers as bad or wrong. We welcome them with open arms and invite them to connect with us on an intimate level. Once the practitioner has moved through comparing emotions, thoughts, feelings to their opposites, the practitioner moves into a feeling of joy, bliss, and contentment. During this part of the practice, the practitioner is exposed to that which is already present within. The practitioner begins to experience firsthand that joy, contentment, bliss is always and ever present inside their being. From this newfound awareness of joy, contentment, bliss, the practitioner is guided into a practice of awareness where they are asking questions about their innermost being. This is an opportunity for the practitioner to get to know the ego in a very intimate way. to begin to peel away the different layers and rest in their essential nature. Once the practitioner moves into this exploration of being, they are reminded that they are resting in the wholeness that is their true nature. Once the practitioner moves into this experience of wholeness, they can begin to see that the wellspring of well-being that is truly the inner resource within is in fact the true nature of who they are. iRest Yoga Nidra has been very successful in treating combat veterans that have shown signs of PTSD. iRest Yoga Nidra was adopted by the U.S. military in the early 2000s and has been used in Walter Reed and other military hospitals and installations throughout the country and world. It shows promise of deep healing for veterans that have experienced significant trauma. One of the unique qualities of iRest Yoga Nidra is that it involves several different somatic therapy techniques that help to release the body's autonomic nervous system response to trauma. The body works with the nervous system in several different ways, but for the purpose of this conversation, we're going to look at the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system, governed by the Pingala, the right nadi that sits next to the Sushumna, is responsible for fight, flight, freeze. It's our survival response, and it is activated anytime that we are feeling that there is danger to ourselves or our tribe. The Ida is the parasympathetic nervous system, and it is the left nadi that runs the length of the Sushumna on the left side. This nadi is responsible for our rest and digest function, and it helps us to heal and process information. Many of the functions of the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system are automatic. They are part of the autonomic nervous system. This part of our body functions without us giving any input or directing it in any way. That makes it very difficult for us to go in and retrain and reprogram the parts of the brain that work in conjunction with the autonomic nervous system. By using progressive muscle relaxation, a somatic therapy technique that allows the body to tense the muscles for a period of 5 to 10 seconds and then release. Another somatic therapy technique that iRest Yoga Nidra uses is a technique called autogenics. Autogenics is the suggestion of relaxation or a particular sensation in the body. It's a somatic therapy technique that actually helps to calm down the sympathetic nervous system. The facilitation of iRest Yoga Nidra is slightly different from our previous Yoga Nidra examples. In iRest Yoga Nidra, the facilitator speaks very slowly and very calmly. The tonality of the voice changes slightly, and the practice becomes much more organic, much more exploratory. The practitioner is encouraged to sense and feel different sensations, feelings, thoughts, and emotions in the body, and to have dialogue with them, to have an inner conversation throughout the entire practice. All the while, the practitioner is going into that alpha state of Yoga Nidra. If we remember back, our brain functions in frequencies. Our waking function is at the beta frequency. Our sleeping function is at the theta frequency. And deep rest and relaxation is at the delta frequency. When we enter into Yoga Nidra, we are operating in alpha, in between the waking and sleeping states. This place helps us to practice being at the seat of the observer, being the witnesser, and not being attached to the thoughts, feelings, emotions that come up for us. It helps to put things into perspective and give us the tools that we need to respond rather than react. When Richard Miller was asked by the military what the result of the iRest Yoga Nidra program would be, he laughed and he told them that a percentage of their soldiers would finish the protocol and decide that the Army military was not for them. They would resign or discharge, pack up, and leave. A percentage of the practitioners would complete the protocol and feel deep relief and relaxation, but feel like they could go sit at a desk, supporting the service of the military, but not actively engaging in combat. Dr. Miller said that the final group of individuals participating in iRest Yoga Nidra would suit up and bear more arms, would be more convicted to serve and fight for the military because that was their dharma. Essentially, what Richard Miller said was that the results of Yoga Nidra yield enlightenment and a sense of clarity, an inner knowing of what one's values truly are, an inner knowing of the true nature of being, and an inner knowing that all beings are reflections of one spirit.